Hi everybody, this is my first ever YouTube video, woo, sound the trumpets. Yeah, so this is the one that I'll be looking back in a couple of years and be like, oh god, what was I doing? So I'll try and make it as cringe free as possible. I'm Jammer, and I just thought I would make YouTube videos because I've been obsessed with YouTube for years, like haul videos, makeup videos, fashion videos, and like gaming stuff as well, and the cookery ones, and just everything pretty much. Like I can just sit on YouTube for hours. So I was like, if I love it so much, I might give it a go. So I hope you guys like it. And yeah, here we go, first ever video, woo! For my first ever video, I thought I would do 50 facts about me. Because that's a kind of, I've seen quite a few of these videos and I just thought it's a nice way to kind of start things off so you get to know me. So number one, I'm at home at the minute, so this is different background to what we're going to have usually, but I am at university in Northern Ireland and I live with 4 other people, so 3 boys and 1 girl, so that can get a bit crazy kind of thing. Number 2, I am gluten intolerant, which basically means that gluten, which is found in the flour that goes into bread, pasta, biscuits, cakes, all of that sort of thing, my stomach my body doesn't process it properly, so it means I get really bad tummy ache and it kind of sucks. There's loads of good gluten-free stuff, goodies now, so that's not so bad. 3, I am hopeless with guys, like to the opposite sex. You will not be seeing any of the makeup with my boyfriend videos or anything like that. Kind of unsurprisingly, as you'll probably find out because I'm pretty strange. But oh, I have a phobia of long nails. Ooh. Like seriously, I had a driving instructor, and it's only on men though, like girls it's fine, but men with long nails, like, ooh. So I had this driving instructor and he used to tap his nails on the sort of dashboard of the car, and they were kind of like proper old man nails, so they're really long and like yellowy, and just makes me feel like my skin crawl every single time I think about it. And another fact about me, I learnt to drive quite recently. I don't know why I didn't learn to drive when I was at home. I suppose because I was working a lot and I didn't really have the money, but then my grandparents, really lovely, gave me some money to help pay for it. So I learnt to drive really recently and I was really proud. Second time around, so there is nothing wrong with passing second time arounds. When all the best people pass, apparently. My hands and feet are tiny. I have been known, usually they're a size 4, my feet, but I've been known to get into 3s, and my hands, they don't look that tiny, but compared to normal people's hands, they are tiny. So that's another, sorry if you've got a foot or hand thing, but tiny ones here. I also don't tan at all. I don't really look it in this video, but I am pretty ginger. Well, I was in denial for being ginger for ages, but everyone was like, no, you're ginger. And as a result, I do not tan at all. You can tell my hands are a different colour, which is a bit weird. No tanning happens at all, which sucks. I am blind as a bat, like to the extent that I wear contacts, like I'm wearing contacts now, and I also have glasses, but take those away from me, I am gone. So zombie apocalypse, as soon as the contact lenses run out, I am getting eaten. It's awful. Speaking of zombies, not really, but kind of, I love TV. I could watch TV forever. I watch so many TV shows, pretty much everything from like the sort of big things like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, to stuff like Gossip Girl, The OC when it was on, Two Broke Girls, The Following, Vampire Diaries, everything, pretty much everything. My favourite films are Zombieland and 500 Days of Summer. I don't know why, because they're not like the best films sort of thing, like Shawshank and Godfather, but I just really love them. Speaking of films, I have only ever cried at 2 films, which was P.S. I Love You, which, spoiler alert, the bit where she opens the cake and it's got his voice and oh god, and About Time, which if you haven't seen it, is a British film with Rachel McAdams, and it's just, oh, it's heartbreaking, but it's so good, you have to see it. I have 2 of the biggest girl crushes on Emma Stone and Jennifer Lawrence. I love them. Anything they're in, I just love them. I have this weird thing where whenever I paint my nails, I automatically need to go to the toilet. Every time. Which of course is the worst thing to do because you cannot go to the toilet when you've got wet nails. And I don't know why, but it's sucky. And I thought this was a normal thing until I asked my sister and she was like, no, that's definitely just you. So I used to go to theatre school when I was a couple of years ago. Like, I was the biggest theatre geek ever. I still am. Whenever I'm home, I try to go to London as much as possible and see shows. So yeah, there's many a video of me doing the sort of full-on cheesy singing stuff. So yeah, that's interesting for you, maybe? I don't know. Least favourite foods: aubergine, courgette, mushrooms and mashed potato. I don't know, I think with mushrooms and mashed potato it's kind of a texture thing. And courgette and aubergine are just ugh. But mash, weirdly with me, it's not the lumps that I'm afraid of, it's the smoothness. So if I had really, really smooth mash, that would be so much worse. I would rather, if I had to eat it, have really lumpy mash, which I know is really weird, but I don't know why I've included this in here. I once did a modelling job, believe it or not, but it was for a government engineering scheme. So that was glamorous. I dressed in a lab coat all day, hey! My favourite drink in the world is peach iced tea. I could drink peach iced tea like just forever. I am obsessed with America. I went to New York a couple of years ago and it is my favourite place in the world. I love it, and hopefully I would like to move there one day. Going back to phobias, I have a phobia of vomit. So much that I'm never sick because I know that if I'm sick I'll probably be sick because of my reaction to being sick, which is really strange. This is a much weirder one. I have a phobia of squishy fruit, which is like, I don't know what it is. If I pick up a fruit and like, oh, it's all squishy, it just makes me feel really ill. So I have to eat like bananas especially. I like really hard, firm bananas, which sounds a bit like an innuendo now I realise, but no, it's not, promise. Just don't like squishy fruit. Declaration now. Although I probably won't do too many videos of this sort, I am a massive nerd. Like massive, like literally list a nerdy programme and I will probably watch it quite religiously. Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, Supernatural, even watched a bit of Star Trek in my time. That is how nerdy I am, pretty much. Also I read comics, like legitimate comics. I also love to cook. This is slightly less nerdy, but I'm thinking hopefully later on I'll maybe do some cooking videos if that's something you'd guys like to see. But yeah, I love to cook, baking especially, which my 4 flatmates absolutely love considering 3 of them are boys, and I love it because it means I get people to eat my food. I once met Russell Brand and Bill Nye, not together, different times at the same day, and I couldn't go up and talk to Russell Brand because all I could think was, you've had sex with Katy Perry. I have really cheesy music taste leading on from this. Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, One Direction, I have seen them all live and I loved it. I even almost cried a bit at Taylor Swift, that's how sad I am. But redeeming feature, I also quite like half decent music like Bastille and Haim are currently 2 of my big favourites, and I'm seeing them as well. Actually, I've seen them both, so balance maybe, I don't know. I love books actually as well. This is why I never get any work done because I'm constantly doing everything else. But I particularly like books with a kind of sci-fi twist. Like I love The Hunger Games and all stuff like that. But at the same time, I also sometimes like really soppy chick flicks. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever read Shopaholic series, but I love them. I think it's probably because my love of shopping, but also, declaration right now, I am such an old lady. I don't really like going out. I would much rather stay in, be in my pyjamas, get some junk food in, just slob out. I'm also obsessed with mascara. I think mascara is probably my desert island beauty item because my eyelashes are the only things I ever really get complimented on when I go out. So I think because of that, I take a lot of care in them and I use a lot of products, and sometimes I combine some products as well. So yeah, that's mascara. Love my mascara. I love the colour Hot Pink. It's definitely my favourite colour. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's so, I love bright colours as well, and I think it's such a sort of inherent girly girl colour, but at the same time hot pink can kind of be a bit, I don't know, rebellish? That's definitely not a word, but IKEA and Avoca are my favourite shops. Avoca's this cool little place in Belfast where it's all cute, like books and like blankets and cute little things for your house and your kitchen and like makeup products, and oh, I just love it. And IKEA is a furniture shop, which I know is really sad, but I don't know why, I love it. I'm obsessed with magazines to the extent that every month I probably buy every magazine. I know for definite, I usually get Elle, Marie Claire, Glamour, In Style, Company. I've got a subscription to Glamour, and also Empire magazine I really like as well. And then I get some of the big ones like Love and ID and stuff. So yeah, I'm obsessed. Oh, this is so cheesy, but I don't know why I put this down. I used to be obsessed when I was really little with the ages of like 10, 11, 16 and 18, because I thought those were the 3 ages where A, I was going to get my Hogwarts letter, I know, B, I was going to find out I was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, another thing I was obsessed with when I was a kid, or C, I was going to find out, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, that I was a witch. So that was when I was about 8 years old, those were my 3 ages that I was like, yes, something's going to happen, and then it never did. So, well, kind of unsurprisingly, to be honest. But also, when I was little, we used to have swimming lessons every week at my school, and I used to hate swimming in the deep end because there was this big drain at the bottom of the pool, and I used to think a shark was gonna, like when I swam over it, I used to think a shark was gonna come out and eat me. So I used to refuse to go in the deep end of the pool because I used to be convinced the shark was gonna eat me. I get very excitable about very silly things. Like the other day we were walking into a kitchen shop and there were guns, but one was for ketchup and one was for mustard, and I was just obsessed. Bookshops are one of my favourite places in the world to relax. I just think they're really lovely, the fact. And another one is, when I was little, I used to keep diaries all the time, and I used to love music, and I used to write songs, until one day my little sister, being a younger sibling, found them all, read them all, and then would start quoting them back to me, and I was so embarrassed. I was only about 8 years old. I was so embarrassed, and I decided to rip them all up and throw them in the bin. And I kind of wish I hadn't done it now, but I try to write letters as much as possible. I just think it's a really nice thing that needs to be carried on, and not a lot of people do it. I use a lot of fillers when I talk as well. It's such a bad habit. So like stuff like and you know, and like is my worst. God knows how many times I've said it in this video, probably a lot. We used to play a game in my old school where we used to throw our shoes into trees. I don't really know why we did it. We used to throw our shoes into trees, and like, it was like if it fell off, you lost, but if it got stuck in the tree, you won. And I always used to get sent up to climb the tree because I was the smallest. So I'd come back from school at like the end of the day with like twigs in my hair and like leaves and bugs. I've always been quite driven as a person, I think, which I think is quite a good quality. Like, even if I haven't known exactly what I've wanted to do in terms of making a decision in terms of like A-levels and stuff, I've always been like, well, I want to get here, so I'll do this, this and this. So I think that's quite a good quality, hopefully. Cannot rest until I know they're okay, because I feel so bad, like the guilt eats me up inside. As a child, as you can probably guess by the tree telling story, I constantly had scabby, bruised knees. I also wanted a pet squirrel when I was little. I was obsessed with getting a pet squirrel. And then I remember I was so heartbroken when I found out that squirrels, majority of them are actually rabid. I am obsessed with Tumblr and Instagram to the extent that I probably check it about 10 times a day, each of them, which I know is really not healthy, but I just love it. They're my favourite social medias. I am also, another thing I'm obsessed with is Disney. Love it. Saw all the Disney films when I was little. I used to reenact them in my front room. And when I was 16, I actually went to Disneyland for the very first time. and I was a bit nervous because I was like, oh no, what if I'm too old? I've wanted to go there for ages. But then literally we got in, and I remember there was a parade, and I ran off after the parade, and all my friends who were with me were like, oh my god, grab Gemma, she's like disappeared. And the last one is, why is my YouTube channel called Jingles? But it's because when I was at school, we used to have computer logins, and it would take the first letter of your first name and then your last name. So mine was G Ingles, even though it's spelled English. And because everyone knew my name was pronounced Ingles, they found out and they were like, oh my god, Jingles? They're like, Jingles. So that was my nickname for a lot of secondary school. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my 50 facts about me. I know it's pretty long, but I hope now you kind of feel that you know a bit about me. So I'm gonna upload videos every Friday, fingers crossed, and I'm gonna do some makeup ones, some hauls maybe, some fashion ones, and maybe some cooking. But if there's anything you guys would like to see, then pop it down there. And yeah. I'll see you guys next Friday, and I hope you like this video. Bye! Of secondary school.